Things changed for me about 8 years ago when I moved from California and took the position at Lakewood Church as family and children's pastor. And what changed for me was almost like a perfect storm. You know, on Monday, before the week before I left, we were all packed up and we were ready to go. And I found out my dad had a massive heart attack and he passed away. And on that Friday, we had his funeral. On the Saturday and Sunday, we had our farewell, and it happened to be Father's Day weekend. And then on Monday, we left for Lakewood. And it was an interesting time because I thought that was a difficult time, but things even shifted in another gear when about 6 months into us being at Lakewood, our son who had talked to us, who had looked us in the eye when he would speak, who would interact with us at 2.5 years old, who would play with other friends, all of a sudden that shifted. And when that shifted, like a lot of parents, and it doesn't matter if you're a pastor or not, but like a lot of parents, we were asking a lot of questions. You know, why? What happened? What are we going to do? And this is like a lot of parents that you will come in contact with when you're talking about special needs ministry, because they're probably in different stages asking those questions. The first stage is, you know, in disbelief. They're in a little bit of shock. And when you're ministering to them, one of the key things in ministry to them is don't try to give them all the answers. Just begin to work with them through the process. And you know, it's a process that takes some time. You're going to go from a time of finding out to a time of diagnosis, and then you're going to go through a time of what does this mean, you know, after the diagnosis. And some of the things that we deal with parents that we try to teach on an ongoing basis is that it's not just that you minister to the kids. It's important that you minister to the parents as well. And that's always really important in starting a special needs ministry, because it's these parents that are carrying a refrigerator on their back all week. It's 24/7. Some of their kids are dealing, and their families are dealing with being rejected socially. Then probably less than 1% of churches across the country have anything for special needs. So they can, in a sense, be spiritually rejected in the sense of there's nothing for their kids. And then you have the aspects of just everyday life. Kids that are 8 or 9 years old that have never been potty trained. Kids that, and just the 24/7, you know, what that means. Kids that you're trying to work out through their feelings and emotions and how they're dealing with things. So the number one thing that I would say in when you're beginning a special needs ministry, besides the launch and the development and the training, is remember the parents are as important as the kids in the process. Develop programs that are going to come alongside the parents. Even when parents are going to come to your special needs ministry, what is that extra special care? One of the things that we do is we have our leaders meet the parents right when they get there. There's somebody waiting for them. We develop a plan for each child. So whatever the parent is going through that week, what's great is that our leaders know what's going on. And let's say a child has been dealing with something, and maybe a toy or an activity makes the child frustrated or makes them stim in some way. That means gets them really focused on a particular object or thing. We will try to work with them on taking that out or working the child around that. And this is just a plan that we develop with each parent as they come in to make sure that they know that we care about them not only inside the church but outside of the church.